My name is Melinda Hart. You are watching Stamping with Hart. You can find me at www.stampingwithhart.blogspot.com. And we can just jump right in and get started. So let me just tell you what's going to be happening tonight. I am going to be doing a little slideshow. It's going to be my first slideshow presentation. I had to get a little bit creative with what I wanted to do with tonight's live. So we're going to do some gift ideas. So hopefully this will be helpful for you if you are looking for gifts for fellow crafters and stampers in your life. And, be sure to let me know whether it's live or in the replay, what your name is, where you're watching from. I would love to comment back, interact with you live if I can, or I could always reach out to you in the replay or in the comments afterwards. So I have a downloadable version of this guide. If you are interested, you are more than welcome to download it by clicking that link. And if you're already on my email list, then the link was just sent to you around 7:15 p.m. tonight. The one thing I wanted to say about this is that there are actually no stamp sets on this gift ideas list. The list that I tried to come up with tonight was actually for craft room staples, maybe something that somebody hasn't purchased for themselves yet. Or maybe something they could use a new one of or extras of. I know as a crafter, I have a lot of doubles of things, but I was really trying to think of some really good, useful items that I think stampers and crafters would appreciate, either as a stocking stuffer or as a gift under the tree. So gift idea number 10 is or not mine. I do have one though. The mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And on our list of 10, it's going to be a variety of products, a variety of prices, but I did list the prices here just so that you can have an idea of what that's going to be like. So the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine is a smaller version of our full-size die cutting and embossing machine, which has the same name. And the reason that I listed hi, Joan, how are you? The reason that I listed the mini instead of the full size is because if it's something that you're giving as a gift to someone, number one, the mini is adorable. But it's very versatile. It's a little bit more portable and accessible, whether it's a new crafter or, somebody who likes to, craft on the go. So I think it's a little bit more of a manageable gift to give to somebody, who is the mini for. And the mini, I think, is a great gift for a new crafter, a junior crafter. And if you watch me, you already know this story, but if not, my son who is 6, I was so excited when the mini came out and I got the mini for him so that he could have the mini, die cut and emboss machine. And I had the big guy and we could craft together. And when I showed it to him, he was interested for like a minute and then he wanted the big one. So he started working with the big one and I started working with the mini. And it works either way. But if you do have a junior crafter or an aspiring stamper in your life, this is a great gift idea for them, especially if they're just starting to build up their craft supplies. The craft night helper tool. So if you have gatherings or craft nights or parties, card making parties, scrapbooking parties, the mini can be really useful on the table if you guys are, sharing. The traveling crafter. So the carpool mom, the crafter who might have more than one location. If you live in more than one place, or if you travel somewhere for the winter, it could be absolutely wonderful to travel with the mini. So if you have a travel bag or a travel caddy or something like that, the mini is pretty portable. And when you purchase the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, it does include the plates that you need to get started. So it will have the embossing plates, it will have the die cutting plates right in it when you first purchase the machine. So the one thing that I did want to point out, just in case you guys didn't already know, when you're looking around in our catalog or you're wondering what dies will fit through the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine versus the big one, you'll be able to see this symbol right here. So it is this red circle where it says mini, and then you see a little picture of the machine. Anytime you're looking through the catalog or at the die sets, even the embossing folders, it will let you know whether the size of the dies will fit through the mini, and those are safe to purchase if this is something that you are gifting for somebody. Okay, so that was gift idea number 10. So gift idea number 9 is a bundled color collection or refill collection. So for this, there's a few things that I want to mention right out of the gate. So because of what's happening in the world with manufacturing and shipping delays, some of these items may or may not be available. Now, I did go on and I did check this, my list of what was available now and what is not. All of the refills, as far as I am aware, all of the different collections for the refills are available, but the larger ones are not available at this moment. I'm still going to make the links clickable so that you can check. But I did just want to mention that right out of the gate. Everything else on my list tonight should be available, but I'm not sure what the status is on the ink pad bundles. Regardless, we do have some time before Christmas is here. And I still wanted to mention it because they could become available at any time. As far as I know, I don't have the latest updates, but this is one of those things that a crafter, especially if they're on a budget or if they're being conservative, they may not purchase for themselves, or if they're getting started, they might not know about. But the other thing about these color collections or the refill collections is that when you purchase it in a bundle, you save 10%. So there is also a savings when you purchase something like this. So a color collection is available, and this is in terms of the set of 10 in 4 different collections. So let me see if I can go to the next slide. Okay. So the refills, I'm sorry, the color collections would be available in the brights, neutrals, subtles, or regals. And they, in the catalog, which I don't have the page open in front of me, but I can find it. I will have all of the page numbers and everything listed on my blog. But those sets of 10 give you a full color collection, all of these different colors to work with. So if you have a crafter who is either trying to build their inventory, they're getting more and more interested. That's one way to do it. But another is maybe somebody who is transitioning from being new, who started with kits and maybe our little Stampin' spots like the sample size ink pads, and now they're interested in getting some full size ink pads. This is a great way for them to be able to have a whole collection of colors that they may not purchase outright, for themselves. So I do think it's a fantastic gift idea. If you were to get the full ink pad bundles, it would be good for under the tree. But the way that the refills are packaged, they would actually be a super cute stocking stuffer. They're long, but I'm pretty sure you'd be able to fit it in that stocking. So, if the crafter that is very advanced, they have everything, right? The refills might be ideal for that stamper or crafter, because you never know when you might need to refill your ink pads. They might be interested in doing some of the, watercolor techniques or other things that refills are ideal for. Or if it's a price point thing, the refills are about half of the cost of getting the ink pads. So it just depends on where your budget is, how much you're looking to spend, what you want to wow them with. But this would be a wow gift, whether you chose the ink pads or the refill collections. It took me a long time to build up my ink pads and my refill collections, and it can take a long time. So this could really help them along if you are looking for something that's really going to be like, oh, wow, type of thing. Okay. And then our next one, gift idea number 8, is the clear block bundle. So this is the one thing that I wish I would have purchased at least a year before I purchased it. So you guys can let me know like what your can't live without craft room staple is. Like, what do you use the most? What can't you live without in your room? Like what is it that's constantly living on your craft desk or space? I absolutely, I think I have 2 clear block bundle sets at this point, and I could have 4. I couldn't love it enough. So if you are, let me go to the next slide, and then I'll be able to get a little bit more into it. So, if it's a new crafter and they just have a couple of blocks, that's totally fine, right? But let's just say that this stamper is really loving stamping, or you do have somebody who's been a crafter for a really long time, and maybe they haven't upgraded their supplies in a while. Having a nice combination of clear blocks for your stamps is so wonderful, especially if it's somebody who likes to sit down for a few hours and spread everything out and, stamp a bunch of cards or a bunch of scrapbook pieces all at once. Joan says her paper trimmer. So that is definitely a great choice. I use my paper trimmer constantly too. The clear block bundle is one of those things that I really didn't think about right away, but as soon as I bought it, I just couldn't live without it. I was like, I don't know how I stamped without these. So I highly, highly recommend this. The other thing is, again, because it's a bundle, there's a 10% savings on it. And the way that this comes packaged, each block is individually packaged. So the entire bundle could be a gift for one stamper, or you could divvy it up into multiple gifts. And if you're doing like maybe little assorted gift bags for people, that could be really, really cute. Fantastic gift idea there. So I can't recommend that one enough. I definitely wanted to make sure that one was on the list. Here we go. And then let's go to the next one. So gift idea number 7, storage. Storage, and more storage. You guys may or may not agree with me. I'm pretty sure everybody would agree. I have never met a stamper or a crafter or both who didn't need storage, or more storage, or even more storage after that. We all need our storage. So the 2 things that I have pictured here are the ink pad and marker storage and the Stampin' Blends storage. And one of the wonderful things about Stampin' Up's storage options is that everything is customizable and fits together and is stackable. So depending on how many you might need, you will, definitely be able to build on that. So let me see if the next slide says what I want it to. Yes. Okay. So just in a way to break this down, I think that storage is one of the best things that you could get the crafter in your life. It might be one of those things where you feel like, well, I don't know what storage they need. We need all the storage. We need all kinds of storage. If you don't want it to be a surprise, of course you can ask the person. But I'm still not done with all of the storage that I need, and I have a bunch of these things. So one thing I wanted to mention, one thing to keep in mind if you are planning on getting storage, let's say, you have a stamper or a crafter who's working on their stamp room. Maybe they are doing a little bit of renovating rearranging of their space, and you think, you know what, it might be nice if they have a place where they can actually set their ink pads and their markers. Maybe the person that you're purchasing for loves the Stampin' blends. Maybe they have the entire collection, but they don't have the units for them yet. The one thing that you want to think about is that if you're buying the ink pad storage, it comes with 5 to a set. So 5 ink pads, 5 shelves will fit on it. And if that person has 5 ink pads to start, then 1 will be fine. If that person has 20 ink pads, you would just want to adjust that. If you're able to get them a gift of multiples, you can actually get them a set for all of their ink pads. If you know, if you can sneak in there and see how many ink pads that they have. But I think that this is a absolutely wonderful gift idea. And then on this picture here, you can get a better look at the storage options. So we have the ink pad storage, we have the marker storage. There are also these like lid toppers. There's open storage, so they can put whatever it is that they need to fit in there. I think open storage is one of those like go-to gift options because they may need it for their ink refills. They may need it for ribbon. They might want to have it so that they can arrange all of their embellishments. Whatever you might need. So I think that that's a huge one in terms of a craft room staple or somebody who is either trying to keep their space tidy. And, we all struggle with that, right? But maybe either they haven't purchased it for themselves yet, they haven't treated themselves to it, and you can surprise it. You can surprise them with it as a gift for Christmas. Okay, so let's see. Gift idea number 6. I chose the Take Your Pick tool. And I'm curious if you guys all have it. So if you happen to be watching with me live and you're willing to leave me a comment, let me know. Do you have the Take Your Pick tool and do you love it? So it was really hard for me to do just a list of 10. I wanted to keep it at 10 just to keep the time of the presentation and everything manageable. Didn't want this video to go on too long. So I didn't pick like everything, but I really wanted to pick those like knock it out of the park tools that I felt like people could use. So if you are, Kathy says, I have 3. High five, Kathy. Virtual high five. That is awesome. So the Take Your Pick tool is, I think, another one of those sneaky tools that if the stamper or crafter in your life does not have one yet, if you gift them one, if you pop it in their stocking or into a gift bag or something like that, they are going to love it. It's just going to stay in their space. And again, you can have more than one. I think that for so many of us, we do have more than one of these staple items, right? We have multiples in our storage. We have multiples in our inks and our colors and our refills. We have multiples with the Take Your Pick tool. So I don't think that, in this case for staples, you can go wrong. And of course, you can ask the person if you don't want it to be a surprise. If you're on a budget, if you're shopping and you want to get your crafter something cute and gifty, but you don't want to spend a ton of money on it, the Take Your Pick tool is only $10. And with the Take Your Pick tool, you actually have some other options. So if you want to make like a little bundle for them, you could do that. And that is here on the screen here. So we have the Take Your Pick tool, which actually comes with these interchangeable pieces that you can unlock and flip to the opposite side. So you can score, you have like a sharp edge tool if you need to poke through paper or something like that. You have the putty tool, excuse me. You have the little putty tool that you can use to pick up your embellishments. That's what I use it for the most. Excuse me, just one second. So you have options with what comes in the Take Your Pick tool for $10. They have lots of options that they already get to work with. You can get an addition. So if you wanted to get the Take Your Pick die brush tip, you could do that. And it will also include 2 foam sponges or pads. And what that does is if the person is a die cutter and they need to get those little pieces of paper, or they need to loosen up the die cut in the die, that brush will very easily help pop that die cut out and clean out the tool very quickly. And you just lay that right on the sponge pad. And if you're not the crafter, but you're shopping for the crafter, that is such a great tool to own. So that's a little add-on. That would be $9. So even if you got the add-on and the Take Your Pick tool, you're still under $20. And then they do have putty tip refills for $3.50. So that's another thing to keep in mind. But the putty tool honestly lasted me a really long time before mine needed to be replaced. I'm not sure what you guys think about yours. I'm so sorry about the cough. I'm not used to talking for a long time. Joan loves her Take Your Pick tool too. I know. We can't get enough of it. So it had to go on the list. Okay, so let's go to the next one. All of the tools on this, what we're seeing here would be very helpful, by the way, but not all of them made the list. Okay, so the next idea, gift idea number 5, is the Simply Chamois. Now, there are other craft cleaners out there, and I think everybody kind of has their favorites of what they like to use. But in terms of getting somebody started, and you want to get them into the habit of cleaning their stamps quickly, I think you can't go wrong with the Simply Chamois. It's 5x7. It's this really cool material. I can't even really describe it. I could read it right out of the catalog for you, but the gist of it is you can either keep this as a 5x7, you can cut it up into multiple pieces if you want and have it to travel with and clean, your stamps as you need it, but it never leaves my table. It never leaves my table unless I need to replenish it. You dampen it with some water. You want to keep it in a case if you have one, or you could purchase one. But the Simply Chamois is one of the most effective tools in terms of being efficient. If you want to use the same stamp in 10 different colors, you could clean very quickly in between your ink pads with this. The Simply Chamois, in my opinion, is something you cannot have enough of. And it might not be something that the person will add to their own list all the time, right? Because we always want to buy the fun stuff. We always want to buy the pretty paper and the pretty ribbon. And sometimes we forget to add those staple pieces that we need to our list. Or if somebody's never tried a quick cleaner for their stamp before, they might not know, So if it's a young or a new stamper, a junior stamper, this is a great way to get them started, where they can really quickly, easily clean up their stamps and go. So let me see if there was anything that I missed with that. I think I got it all. But I love the price point on this. Again, if you need to stay within a certain budget, but you still want to get them something that they're going to use, this is definitely one of those things. Okay, and then our next gift is our paper snips scissors. So what I said here is you can never have enough scissors, and you really can't. I don't think you can have enough scissors. So I have backups. I don't know if you guys have backups. I think that we could always use a new pair of scissors. And, some of us have separate scissors for our adhesive than we have for our paper. Some of us have like backup scissors in a drawer somewhere in case we can't find ours. I am notoriously bad for covering my scissors when I'm in the middle of a demonstration. And then I have to go and I have to find other scissors. So again, this could be a really cool stocking stuffer. This is another one that's really cost effective. And the paper snip scissors have great precision to them. And they're not huge, they're not big and bulky. So it could be a really, really cute little crafty gift idea for you. Gift idea number 3 are kits. You guys hear me talking about this a lot. So I have something going on with Paper Pumpkin right now. if you guys are interested, I'll refer you to the blog, stampingwithhart.blogspot.com. There's a lot more information there if you are interested in the current sale that I'm running until November 10th. But we're really just going to focus on the gift idea guide tonight. So I'm not going to get into all that. We're just going to focus on what you could get. So if you go to stampinup.com, you have options with kits. You can either do a kits collection kit, and the prices range. The one example that I chose here for the slide is the Precious Parcel card kit, and it's $12. These are really adorable kits. They're really affordable kits. Or you could do something like a paper pumpkin subscription. So let me go to the next slide and see if I have the explanation here. The main difference, whether you're doing the kit collection or whether you're choosing paper pumpkin, the kit collections you can choose in stampinup.com, and there's a variety of prices for the kits collection, and you will know exactly what you're going to get in that box when you order it. So you could choose which box or which theme that you want for your crafter or your stamper, and that's the kit you're going to get. If you choose paper pumpkin and you want to get them, a prepaid subscription, 3 months of paper pumpkin or something like that, even if it's just one, even if you want to do 1 month of paper pumpkin just to get them a gift, see if they like it, they can enter the code and get their little paper pumpkin. Paper pumpkin gives you teasers, but you don't know exactly what comes in the kit until that month. So you have an idea of what you're getting in it, but you don't know exactly what you're going to get. They're all inclusive. So everything that you need to craft is right inside that box. And they have, easy instructions and all of that. So who are kits for? Kits are great for new crafters. They're really great for somebody who will say like, oh, I can't do it, I'm not crafty, right? We all know, because we all love kits too. And I mean, we're all used to crafting. But if there's somebody in your life who says like, oh gosh, I could never, let them see a kit. Just show it to them. Maybe put together a card with or, for them, and just say, this is how you do it. This is how easy it is. Show them the instructions, and sure enough, they should be able to do it. The person who wants simple projects. So I think sometimes stampers or crafters can get overwhelmed when they see certain projects, like fun folds and things like that. Paper pumpkin or the kits collection, whichever one you would choose, they have really beautiful cards in their kits, but they don't overwhelm the person. They're really easy to put together. It's not like they have 700 pieces and all these fun folds and scores that they have to put into their cards. They don't have to do any of that. The scoring is already pre-done for them. Everything's already die cut. All I have to do is poke it out, put a little adhesive on it, and put it right onto their card. These kits involve something called really simple stamping, like simple stamping, where they only have to do 1 or 2 stamps. They don't have to stamp all over the card unless they would want to. So it's really good for people who like simple projects, but they still have wow cards when they're done. The person who doesn't like to design. So I hear a lot of, even seasoned stampers or crafters, I hear a lot of them say, if you give me the layout, I'm fine. But if I need to look at a blank, canvas, I don't know what to do. Like I get frustrated and I can't make a card. Kits are perfect for people who like to have the layouts done for them. So for example, like it's a definite thing that people who get the kits do alternate projects because you can have so much fun with them, and you can, expand on the kits. If you do have a craft collection, or if the person you're gifting it to has a craft collection, they can do so much more with it than what comes in the box, but they have everything that they need in the box to start. So if they want those layouts done for them, Paper Pumpkin or the kits have really excellent designs, and there's usually more than one. So they'll have like 2 or 3 different layouts, and you just assemble each layout, and you can do it exactly according to the instructions, or you can go off and do your own thing. So They have options, but they also have the layouts designed for them. The crafter who is on a budget. So for people who really like to maximize their value, the first place I would really refer them to is a kit, because for I think it's 21 or $22 now for paper pumpkin, for example. For basically 21, $22 a kit, you get enough. I want to say it's like typically anywhere between 8 and 10 cards, envelopes, adhesive, stamps, ink, die cuts, embellishments. If it's your first time getting a paper pumpkin kit, you get a block in the kit. There's so much value in those kits for the amount that you pay. The color instructions, like, visual instructions. So everything's in pictures. It's really easy to see. It's absolutely great for anybody who's on a budget. The crafter who loves a surprise in their mailbox. I think we all love getting the happy mail, right? And maybe some of us don't get enough happy mail. So this could be a really cool gift to have sent via happy mail, right? Like maybe they don't know that it's coming. Maybe it's not a gift that's under the tree. Maybe they get surprised with a 3-month subscription, and each month for the next 3 months, they get a really cool kit in the mail that they can play with. I think that would be so much fun. Number 2. So if you guys have seen or watched me before, you know that I am a huge fan and user of the Stamparatus. And Joan was mentioning the paper trimmer earlier, and this was my struggle. So for my number 2 gift idea, I couldn't decide if I wanted to say the paper trimmer or the Stamparatus. And ultimately, I chose the Stamparatus because I listed paper snips, which is a different type of cutter, right? So I decided I'm going to put the Stamparatus in here. And the reason why, it's my personally, it's my favorite tool that I have in my craft room as a stamper, right? There are so many different things that we have as stampers and tools that we have. I feel like the stamp positioning tool is almost underrated. I don't know. And you guys can let me know if you all have and use the Stamparatus. Maybe you have it and don't use it. Maybe you've been interested in it, but you haven't purchased it. Or maybe you know somebody who's been thinking about it and they haven't actually gotten it yet. So the Stamparatus is $49. And I just wanted to make perfectly clear, and it shows right here in this picture what you get with it. So you're going to get the base. You're going to get 2 hinged plates. There are 2 sides that have the hinges here. So here and here. And then these can, hook on to either end of these. So you can have both of these plates going at once, or you could just do 1 plate at a time, per project. You're going to get a foam pad, and you're going to get 2 magnets. This is really, really useful for multiple reasons. If you have photopolymer stamps, which are clear stamps, it's really nice to have a foam pad for extra cushioning, even if you're not using the Stamparatus. The magnets are to hold your projects in place so that they don't move around, so that if you need to stamp something more than once, like you need to re-ink and stamp, if it's a really large stamp, like a background stamp, for example, you can do that and repeat as many times as you need to with your Stamparatus. So there are so many reasons that I love having a stamp positioning tool. You do get those perfect crisp images every time. It really does take using your stamps to another level. So I will hear some crafters or stampers say that they feel like they don't use enough of their stamps, or if they buy, if they buy a stamp set, they don't use all of the stamps in the stamp set. If you put them on a Stamparatus and stamp them even just once, even if you're laying out all of them together just to see what they look like, I think there would be more of a tendency to use those stamps. And if you haven't used a stamp set yet, consider using it with your Stamparatus, because you can get really creative with it. And if you struggle with something like multi-step stamping, the stamp positioning tool can take away any fear or anxiety you might have about not getting anything perfect because you have the two plates. So let's just say it's an animal and we have a cat, like we recently had in one of our Halloween kits, like a ghost, a cat, and a skeleton, and they all had different facial expressions that you could stamp onto them. So they were actually two separate stamps. There was the outline of the face, and then there was the actual face that you could stamp inside the outline. And whenever you use the Stamparatus, you'll know exactly where it's going to go. And you can stamp it perfectly every single time. So I just really love that. And I can't speak about it enough. So if you need examples, you will have lots of them on my YouTube channel because I use the Stamparatus all the time. For the number one gift idea, I wanted to jump on and re-record this just to give a little bit of clarity for my number one gift idea, which is the starter kit special that is happening called Start with Savings from November 4th through November 30th, 2021. So whereas all of the other gifts on my list were things that you could buy for other crafters or stampers, this gift idea is a gift that you would give to yourself. And the reason that I say that is because nobody can purchase the starter kit for you. You can't use like a different credit card or anything like that. It would have to be in your name. You would be the person signing up and you would be the person to purchase it. But I just want to speak to the value of this kit. So from now through November 30th, you actually pay $75 and you choose $125 worth of product and you get a $50 savings. So you spend $75, you choose $125 in product, and you save $50. The starter kit is also free shipping. So this is an excellent gift that you could give to yourself if this is something that you have been considering, but maybe you've been on the fence, or maybe you've just never tried it. So it's something that I really wanted to emphasize and focus on because it really truly is the best value that Stampin' Up! Has to offer. So if there are things that you have had, on a wish list, if it's something that you've been thinking about, if you really do appreciate a great value, if you love a crafting community and being inspired and sharing creative projects and things like that, you are going to love this. Not to mention the fact that you'll get a 20% discount, and you get first access to catalogs. You get first access to new product launches. There's something called pre-orders where you can actually order a product before it becomes available to the public. You would know about all of that first. So it's just like VIP access. If you think about it like a Costco membership, you get the discount. You're able to go in and shop because you have the membership there. You get everything at discounted prices, but it doesn't mean you would have to work at Costco. So it's exactly the same with this. You purchase the starter kit, you get a discount to shop, you get first access to, all of the products, the catalogs, the inventory, but it does not mean that you would have to sell any product. So if you really are looking for a great value, or if there is something that you would like to treat yourself to this holiday season, consider giving yourself an early gift and purchasing the starter kit. If you have any questions at all, I would be happy to help you. If you feel like you need help, someone helping you walk through the steps, I can do that. You have to be the one to sign up for your kit. But if you have any questions, I'm happy to talk to you however best fits you. So that is something that I just wanted to clarify and mention because it's on my gift list. I know it can sound a little confusing. This isn't something that your husband can purchase for you. You would have to purchase the starter kit for yourself. But One of the things that I often say when I'm telling the story of how I purchased my starter kit, I was very nervous because I didn't know what it was going to be like once I made the purchase. But it was one of the best decisions I ever made. And I really want to be able to convey that and share that. And they don't always offer the starter kit at this price. So, because this is limited time, typically it would be $99 for the kit, and you would choose $125 worth of product. But for this period of time in November, from the 4th through the 30th, 2021, you can actually get it for $75. So that is an incredible savings. It is an incredible value, and you can customize what you want in this kit. It's so much fun to put these kits together and figure out what you would like to try or what you would need, or maybe adding that tool that you've been holding out on, or maybe haven't made that purchase for yet. Like, this is the time. I put the Stamparatus in my starter kit originally. I use it constantly. I'm now on year 3. So a Stamparatus is $49. You could get a Stamparatus for free in this starter kit. So I really hope that that helps to demystify what it is to purchase the starter kit, what it is to be part of a fun, crafty community. And if you have any questions, you can be sure to ask me. I just wanted to make that clear. So this would be a gift that you would be gifting to yourself. And if you're watching this and you know of somebody who might really like the starter kit, let them know that there is this offer that they can go and check it out. I've never seen a value like this for the starter kit before. So anyway, I really hope that you enjoyed these 10 gift ideas. The first 9 gifts are gifts that you could give to others. And this last gift idea is a gift that you could give to yourself. And if you have any questions, just let me know. I would love to hear from you. Have you ever gifted any craft supplies to anybody? Do you have a favorite craft room staple from Stampin' Up! That you really love? Leave it in the comments. I would love to hear what you can't live without. For me, it's the Stamparatus. And I know that the take your pick tool is a big one for a lot of stampers and crafters out there, but let me know in the comments. And if you haven't already subscribed and you like things like this, be sure to click the button and subscribe. If you click the bell, you'll get notifications every time I upload a new video. And typically I upload 1 to 2 videos to my YouTube channel each week. I also go live on Facebook every Thursday and Sunday at 7:30 p.m. All right. Stay tuned for the next video.